Welcome to RLP Audiobooks channel, the channel that brings forgotten books back to life in audio format, so you can listen to whenever and wherever you desire, whether you're driving, chilling, and even sleeping. Please consider subscribing to the channel and click the notifications button so you don't miss out on any other videos. Now, relax, listen, ponder, and enjoy.
Surah 89. Al-Fajr. Context. Period of revelation. Its contents show that it was revealed in Mecca, at the stage when persecution of the new reverts to Islam had begun. On that very basis, the people of Mecca have been reminded of the evil end of Pharaoh and the tribes of Ad and Thamud. The theme and subject matter. Its theme is to affirm the meting out of rewards and punishments in the hereafter, which the people of Mecca were not prepared to acknowledge. Let us consider the reasoning, and the order in which it has been presented. First of all, the swearing of oaths by the dawn, the 10 nights, the even and the odd, and the departing night. The listeners have been asked,
"Are these things not enough to testify to the truth of that which you are refusing to acknowledge?"
From the explanation that follows, it will become clear that these things are symbols of the regularity that exists in the night and day. Even after witnessing this wise system, established by God, do you still need any other proof to prove that it is not beyond the power of God to call man to account for his deeds? Then, the evil end of the Ad, and the Thamud, and Pharaoh, has been cited as an example, to show that when they transgressed all limits, and spread corruption in the earth, God laid upon them his punishment. This is a proof of the fact that the system of the universe is not being run by deaf and blind forces, nor is the world a lawless kingdom of a corrupt ruler, but a wise ruler is ruling over it. After this, an appraisal has been made of the general moral state of human society, of which Arab paganism was a conspicuous example. Two aspects of it, in particular, have been criticized. First, the materialistic attitude of the people, on account of which, overlooking the moral good and evil, they regarded only the achievement of worldly wealth, rank and position,
or the absence of it,
as the criterion of honor or disgrace, and had forgotten that neither riches was a reward, nor poverty a punishment, but that God is trying man in both conditions. Second, the people's attitude, under which the orphaned child in their society was left destitute, on the death of the father. Nobody looked after the poor. Whoever could, usurped the whole heritage left by the deceased parent, and drove away the weak heirs, fraudulently. The people were so afflicted with an insatiable greed for wealth, that they were never satisfied however much they might hoard and amass. This criticism is meant to make them realize as to why the people with such an attitude and conduct in the life of the world should not be called to account for their misdeeds. The discourse has been concluded with the assertion that man will be accountable, and it will take place on the day when the divine court will be established. At that time, the deniers of the judgment will understand what they are not capable of understanding now. However, then, it will be of no avail. The denier will regret, and say,
"Would that I had prepared for this day while I lived in the world."
But his regrets will not save him from God's punishment. However, as for the people who would have accepted the truth, which the heavenly books and the prophets of God were presenting, with full satisfaction of the heart, in the world, God will be pleased with them, and they will be well pleased with the rewards bestowed by God. They will be called upon to join the righteous and enter paradise. Surah 89. Al-Fajr.
The dawn.
In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. By the dawn and by 10 nights.
Usually interpreted as the first 10 nights of the month of Zulhijjah.
And by the even number and the odd, and by the night when it passes. Is there not in all that an oath sufficient for one of perception?
based upon the following verses, what has been sworn to by God is that he will certainly punish the disbelievers.
Have you not considered how your Lord dealt with Ad, with Iram?
Another name for the first people of Ad, to whom Prophet Hud was sent,
Who had lofty pillars,
supporting their tents, or buildings,
the likes of whom had never been created in the land? And with Thamud, who carved out the rocks in the valley, and with Pharaoh, owner of the stakes,
by which he tortured people,
all of whom oppressed within the lands, and increased therein the corruption. So your Lord poured upon them a scourge of punishment. Indeed your Lord is in observation. And as for the human being, when his Lord tries him, and thus is generous to him, and favors him, he says, My Lord has honored me.
He is proud, rather than grateful, attributing the favor to his own merit.
But when he tries him, and restricts his provision, he says, My Lord has humiliated me. No.
It is not like you imagine. Rather, God tries people through prosperity and hardship, and rewards both gratitude and patience with honor in the hereafter.
But you do not honor the orphan, and you do not encourage one another to feed the poor. And you consume inheritance, devouring it all together,
not caring whether it is lawful or unlawful.
And you love wealth with immense love. No. When the earth has been leveled, pounded and crushed, and your Lord has come, and the angels rank upon rank,
to pass judgment, God states in the Qur'an that he has certain attributes, such as hearing, sight, hands, face, mercy, anger, coming, encompassing, being above the throne, etc. Yet, he has disassociated himself from the limitations of human attributes, or human imagination. Correct Islamic belief requires faith in the existence of these attributes, as God has described them, without comparing them to creation, or denying that he would have such a quality. His attributes are befitting to him alone, and there is nothing like unto him. Surah 42, verse 11.
And brought within view.
That day
is hell.
That day
the human being will remember, but how, what good, to him will be the remembrance. He will say, Oh, I wish I had sent ahead some good for my life.
The everlasting life of the hereafter.
So on that day, none will punish as severely as his punishment, and none will bind as severely as his binding of the evildoers. To the righteous, it will be said, O reassured soul, return to your Lord, well pleased, and pleasing to him, and enter among my righteous servants, and enter my paradise.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed listening to this book, please give it a like, and consider subscribing to the channel, and click the notifications button, so you don't miss out on any other videos.